Spiritual abuse can happen in different ways. A mark left by the church, whether good or bad, can last a lifetime.
If people are hearing messages all the time about you're bad, you're a sinner, you're going to hell, you're the worst, that environment could be considered an abusive environment that could evoke a trauma response in an individual.
Dr. Kathryn Keller, a therapist in Dallas, Texas, says a church culture of fear and shame can leave people feeling like outsiders, even ostracized over political or theological differences. She tells CBN News the #1 issue clients bring to her is religious trauma, and she compares it to domestic violence.
There's an idea called the power and control wheel, where it talks about different elements of power and control in abusive relationships. When I train therapists on religious trauma, I use that model that comes from the domestic violence literature and cater it to what happens in high control religious systems.
Keller adds the definition of church hurt is broad, typically stemming from experiences of fear, control, or shame within controlling spiritual environments.
Healed people will also help heal people. And that's the beauty of the family of God, is that we can simultaneously be hurt and healing at the same time as we live together in unity.
Author Natalie Runyon understands that struggle. As a pastor's kid who grew up serving in church, she considered walking away after her father had to resign from his position. Studies show more than 1 million Americans leave the church each year, many never returning.
You know, I always kept going back. Even when I would get hurt by a church, I never left the church. I never isolated. I always had women and pastors around me that were constantly reminding me of the goodness of the Lord.
Natalie says during that experience, her faith took a new turn. What began as a personal journey became her platform, and eventually the book, Raised to Stay.
That was actually one of the biggest criticisms that I got when I would hashtag Raised to Stay. People would say, are you telling us to stay in abusive, toxic environments? And the answer was absolutely not. What I'm doing is saying that if you find yourself in that, get out, but hold on to Jesus. Remain with Jesus. John 15, remain in me and I will remain in you. Stay with me and I will stay with you, to give you discernment to know, hey, you've got to get out of here and go somewhere healthy.
Although they took different paths, both Natalie and Dr. Keller say separating faith from toxic structures led to a stronger, more honest relationship with God.
God had always been faithful to me. He had always shown up. He had always been the father he said he was going to be. So yes, all these people had failed me. But when I looked back over the course of my life, God never had. So it was either turn away from the one who had never failed me because of a few people who did, or stay in position with him and let him do what his word promised.
Brody, CBN News.